Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Amna Sajid and today we are going to discuss thiamine, which is also known as vitamin B1. Now, thiamine is classified as a water soluble energy releasing vitamin. The biologically acting form of thiamine is thiamine pyrophosphate, which acts as a coenzyme for different biochemical reactions. Now, thiamine is found in a variety of foods including beef, liver, milk, nuts, oats, oranges, pork, eggs, seeds, legumes, peas, and yeast. And foods such as rice, flour, cereals, and bread can also be fortified with thiamine, which means that thiamine can be added to these foods. So this is the structure of thiamine which you do not need to memorize. The only thing you need to remember is that the conversion of thiamine into thiamine pyrophosphate, which is the biologically active form of thiamine, it requires ATP. Now a pyrophosphate group is taken up by thiamine from ATP. As a result, ATP is converted to AMP and thiamine is converted to thiamine pyrophosphate. And pyrophosphate is basically two phosphate groups attached together. Thiamine is a water soluble vitamin, so it is absorbed directly into the portal bloodstream from the intestine. And once inside the blood, it does not require any carrier proteins for its transport as it itself is a water soluble molecule. Now, what are the biological functions of thiamine? Now, the biologically active form of thiamine is thiamine pyrophosphate, which acts as a coenzyme in two types of reactions in our body. The first type of reaction is known as oxidative decarboxylation reaction, and the second type of reaction is a reaction which is catalyzed by trans ketolase enzyme, which is a part of HMP shunt pathway in our body. So first of all, we are going to discuss oxidative decarboxylation reaction. As the name suggests, this reaction involves simultaneous oxidation and decarboxylation of a molecule, and decarboxylation means removal of carbon dioxide from a molecule. And the important oxidative decarboxylation reactions in our body are being catalyzed by pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, and branched chain alpha keto acid dehydrogenase complex. And I'm saying enzyme complexes, not just enzyme. Enzyme complexes are basically made up of multiple polypeptide subunits. So all these enzyme complexes, as shown in the slide, they require thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. Now the first two enzyme complexes, pyruvate dehydrogenase and alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase enzyme complexes, are involved in the release of energy from glucose, whereas branched chain alpha keto acid dehydrogenase complex is involved in the catabolism or breakdown of amino acids and is associated with the release of energy from amino acids. Now we will discuss the different reactions, these different reactions in more detail with the help of a diagram. Now the second type of reaction which requires thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme is a reaction which is catalyzed by trans ketolase enzyme, and this reaction is a part of HMP shunt pathway or pentose phosphate pathway. Now, in addition to the role of thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme in these two types of reactions, thiamine is also involved in the propagation of nerve impulses and maintenance of myelin sheath. So, whenever thiamine deficiency occurs, the nervous system, both the peripheral nervous system and the central nervous system, they are affected the most. All the other body cells are also affected because the energy releasing processes are reduced in case of thiamine pyrophosphate deficiency, resulting in cellular dysfunction. But the most pronounced effects are observed in the central and peripheral nervous systems, and this is not both because of cellular dysfunction as a result of disturbance in energy releasing mechanisms plus disturbances in propagation of nerve impulses and maintenance of myelin sheath. So thiamine deficiency affects the nervous system in two ways. Okay. Now another point to remember which is shown in this slide is that increased requirement of thiamine is seen in pregnancy, lactation, and in individuals who are ingesting carbohydrate rich diet. In pregnancy and lactation, it is quite obvious why thiamine will be required in greater quantities, because almost all the nutrients are required in greater quantities in case of pregnancy and lactation, as their utilization has been increased. And especially in lactation, if the lactating mother is deficient in thiamine, then thiamine deficiency can be transferred to the nursing infant. So why is thiamine required and utilized in greater quantities in individuals who are taking a carbohydrate rich diet? Several studies have been conducted which explore the relationship between increased utilization of thiamine and increased ingestion of carbohydrate. And these studies have shown that in individuals who are taking in greater quantities of carbohydrates in their diet, they require more thiamine. In such individuals, thiamine utilization is increased. So why does it happen? We are going to discuss this when we discuss in detail the different reactions that require thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. Okay, thiamine levels in our body are estimated by measuring the activity of erythrocyte transketolase enzyme. As you know, transketolase enzyme requires thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. So, the thiamine levels can be estimated by measuring the activity of erythrocyte transketolase enzyme, and this is a very important point from your examination point of view. So this slide shows oxidative decarboxylation reaction which requires thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. So this is pyruvate which is formed as a result of aerobic glycolysis. Now this pyruvate undergoes oxidative decarboxylation and results in the formation of acetyl-CoA, and conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA requires pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme complex and thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. Now other coenzymes are also involved in this reaction, but we are only concerned with thiamine pyrophosphate. So now pyruvate has been converted to acetyl-CoA. Then acetyl-CoA is going to enter citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, and one of the reactions of the TCA cycle also requires thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme, and that reaction is also an example of oxidative decarboxylation reaction which converts alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl CoA, and the enzyme involved is alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase enzyme complex, and one of the coenzymes required is thiamine pyrophosphate. So whenever glucose enters the glycolytic pathway as a result of aerobic glycolysis, it is going to produce pyruvate. Pyruvate will be converted to acetyl-CoA utilizing thiamine pyrophosphate, and acetyl-CoA, when it enters the Krebs cycle, it is again going to utilize thiamine pyrophosphate in one of the reactions of the cycle which involves conversion of alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl CoA. So during the oxidation of glucose or the utilization of glucose in body cells, there are two steps. There are two oxidative decarboxylation reactions that are utilizing thiamine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. So when we said that in individuals ingesting carbohydrates rich diets, more utilization of thiamine is seen, This it is because of the same reason, because when more carbohydrate is ingested, they will be digested to produce glucose, resulting in increased blood glucose concentrations. Glucose will enter the glycolytic pathway. It will be and glycolytic pathway, as a result of which pyruvate will be formed. Pyruvate will be converted to acetyl CoA utilizing thymine pyrophosphate, and acetyl CoA, when enters the Krebs cycle, then one of the reactions in the Krebs cycle also utilizes thymine pyrophosphate. So increased ingestion of carbohydrates ultimately results into increased utilization and increased requirement of thymine pyrophosphate. So this is the second type of reaction which requires thymine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme, and it is a reaction which is part of HMP shunt pathway or pentose phosphate pathway, and it requires trans ketolase as an enzyme and thymine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. So what is happening in this reaction? This is ribose 5 phosphate which contains 5 carbon atoms. Now trans-ketolase enzyme is going to transfer 2 carbon unit from ribose 5-phosphate to xylulose 5-phosphate, and xylulose 5-phosphate also contains 5 carbon atoms, but after accepting 2 carbon unit from ribose 5-phosphate, it is going to convert into pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate, which is a 7 carbon containing compound. And at the same time, ribose, after losing 2 carbon atoms, is going to convert into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which contains 3 carbon atom. And this transference of 2 carbon unit is catalyzed by trans-ketolase enzyme involving thymine pyrophosphate as a coenzyme. So now we are going to discuss the deficiency of thymine. So thymine deficiency can occur in areas where the primary source of diet is polished rice or processed grains, and this happens because during the processing of such grains and rice, thymine is lost, and when individuals use polished rice or processed grains as a primary source of diet, then they can develop thymine deficiency because they are being provided with very low quantities of thymine which is contained in polished rice or processed grains. Now, thymine deficiency is also common in case of chronic alcoholism, simply because chronic alcoholics usually suffer from undernourishment and malnutrition, both in terms of quantity and quality of food. Okay, so par-entry nutritional without adequate thymine supplementation can also lead to thymine deficiency. So, what is parenteral nutrition? Some patients who cannot ingest foods orally, they need to be given nutrition via intravenous route, and this is known as parenteral nutrition. And if thymine supplementation is not a part of that nutrition, that parenteral nutrition, for a prolonged time, then thymine deficiency can result. So in some patients, diuretics have to be given, for example in patients with cardiac failure, etc. Diuretics, a class of drugs, it has to be given. And what do diuretics do? They basically increase urine output. So when urine output is increased as a result of use of diuretics, then thymine excretion in the urine is also increased, because thymine is a water soluble vitamin, so it can also result in thymine deficiency. And lastly, poor intestinal absorption due to any cause, it can lead to deficiency of vitamins including thiamine. An important point to remember about deficiency of thiamine is that after, the symptoms start manifesting within 3 to 4 weeks of uh, thiamine deficiency in our diet. So when we are ingesting thiamine deficient diet, then the symptoms of this deficiency can start to manifest within 3 to 4 weeks. So, what does deficiency of thiamine entail? Now, this deficiency is associated with two types of disorders. One is known as beriberi, and the second is known as Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Now, beriberi can be categorized into dry beriberi and wet beriberi. And dry beriberi and wet beriberi in adults are the most common manifestations of thiamine deficiency. So, what happens in beriberi? In case of dry beriberi, peripheral nervous system or peripheral nerves are affected, resulting in sensory and motor disturbances, especially in the extremities. Now, in wet beriberi, the most pronounced effect is seen in the heart, resulting in cardiac dysfunction or cardiac failure. So, in wet beriberi, uh, disturbance in energy releasing processes result in cellular dysfunction inside the heart, which results in cardiac failure. And as a result of cardiac failure, such individuals suffer from edema or swelling, especially in the legs. And wet beriberi is a medical emergency. And if left untreated, it can lead to death within a few days. And such patients not only require thiamine supplementation, but they also require supportive care, usually in the intensive care unit. So, wet beriberi is a medical emergency and it needs to be diagnosed promptly, and treatment should be started as early as possible. And treatment not only requires thiamine supplementation, but it also requires supportive, intense supportive management. So, a third type of beriberi is infantile beriberi, which is observed in nursing infants of those mothers who are deficient in thiamine themselves. So, another manifestation or another disorder rather associated with thiamine deficiency is Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, and this syndrome is most commonly seen in chronic alcoholics. And the early stage of this syndrome is termed as Wernicke encephalopathy, whereas the later, more advanced stage is known as Korsakoff dementia or Korsakoff syndrome. So, what happens in this disorder? In this disorder, central nervous system is affected, that is the brain and the spinal cord. So, what happens when cellular dysfunction results in the central nervous system? Initially, this disorder is characterized by confusion, ataxia, and nystagmus. So, what is ataxia? It is a disturbance in the gait of an individual, the way a person walks and balances himself while walking. So, there will be disturbances in the gait of the affected individual. And nystagmus, what is nystagmus? It is the to and fro movement of the eyeball. So ocular disturbances are also seen early on in the syndrome. And as the uh, this disorder progresses, there is progressive mental impairment. And if at this stage, at the early stage, treatment with thiamine is started, then the results are very good. The prognosis is good. But if this mental impairment is allowed to be progressed, then it can result in the next stage of the disease known as Korsakoff dementia or Korsakoff syndrome. And when an individual progresses to this stage, then thiamine supplementation cannot uh, produce any marked improvement. The chances of improvement are very slim. So, in case of development of this disorder, treatment should be started as early as possible so that the disease does not progress to the state of Korsakoff dementia where thiamine supplementation results are not very good, which means that the memory problems and hallucinations and disturbances in higher mental functions associated with Korsakoff dementia, these cannot be reversed with thiamine supplementation at this stage. So this was all about thiamine or vitamin B1. This is a very important vitamin, not only from biochemical point of view but also from your examination point of view. So please study it thoroughly, and if you have any queries, please mail me. Thank you and best of luck.